Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Walkout Live again. We are ready to discuss a show coming up in just 10 days. We're getting close. Walkout FC 17, Springfield Fight Night, University Plaza, Hotel and Convention Center in Springfield, Missouri. June 15th. It's just around the corner. Real quick before I get started, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Whole Hog Cafe. That's where our weigh-ins will take place. Carriage House, Beatles Construction, Bell CPA, Team Fusion, Free Tech Logging. Lot to discuss. Discussed a little bit on a podcast earlier. I'd like to do it again. We're going to get it up on Facebook. But like I said, Springfield Fight Night, Walkout FC 17 coming up just around the corner. The card is a lot more solidified now. We've added another pro fight, some other fights. So just going to do an update and talk a little bit about what is going on. Springfield Fight Night is going to be a phenomenal night of fights, and can't wait until it happens. So get back to talking about what we already talked about a little bit in the past, but the main card features some really top-level amateurs and some amazing pro fights. The first of the night being Calvin Williams versus Theron Crouch. Very, very exciting amateur fight. Crouch always brings a very good crowd. Calvin Williams showed very well at Walkout FC 16. We are very excited to see those two in the cage. It's going to be a good one. Probably top contenders going forward, but we'll see how that works out. The first amateur title fight of the night is Zach GQ Yates versus Billy the Kid Wilson. We went over that last time. Both are really good wrestlers. We like Zach Yates' strength, wrestling offense. Billy the Kid Wilson has a little bit more stand-up ability than Yates, but Yates is a freak of nature as far as strength goes. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens in that featherweight title fight for the vacant Walkout FC title. 3-0 Billy the Kid Wilson taking on 3-3 Zach GQ Yates in the rematch. I'm excited to see that one. I'm interested to see if it goes differently. I think it will go different than last time because Zach Yates was forced to stop the fight due to injury after the end of the first round. Definitely think there will be a winner by one form or another, but it's going to be very interesting to see. I think it might go to a decision. I think that they're two pretty evenly matched guys. This fight has high caliber written all over it. Luis Felipe versus Marshall Kemp for the Walkout FC Lightweight Championship. Kemp is actually the lightweight champion, coming off a loss at Pyramid down in Arkansas a little over a month ago. We're going to see soon whether he can, bounce back from that, how he bounces back from that against a very tough Luis Felipe. Both are top-ranked guys in the state of Missouri and Kansas. Interested to see how that goes. Interested to see what happens in that matchup. I think it's going to be a very killer matchup. I think the fans are going to get a lot out of it. I think it's going to be some crazy stand-up, in my opinion. I think there's going to be possibly a knockout winner in that one. That's my prediction. The card is getting more and more stacked as we go, but let's talk over some of the preliminary matchups that we've finished up in the last week since we did the first podcast. We got David Bosinger facing off against, Davin Bosinger, I apologize, against Sarah Christensen in a 3-round female lightweight kickboxing match. That's going to be pretty interesting because we've never done amateur kickboxing, and we've never done female kickboxing. So I think that's going to be a fun one in the lightweight division. Two brand new fighters, two debuters. So it's going to be interesting. That one will definitely stay on the feet. We've got Michael Corvus versus Dalton Rader, a 125-pound match, 3-round match up in the amateur division. Those are two new fighters as well. So we're kind of starting off the night with some untested guys, but we're definitely ending the night with some very experienced fighters. A lot of pro matchups. The third matchup of the night: Devin Phillips versus Wyatt Goad in the male lightweight division. That's another new couple debuters coming out. Going to be very good. Then we have Tyler Morgan taking on Austin Foster in once again 125-pound division. We've got a lot of similar weights in this one, so it's going to be neat because those guys will probably be fighting each other on the next few shows. The winners, will probably be moving up the ranks and fighting each other. Alex Borden, we saw him fight in Arkansas in April. He's 2-0. He'll be taking on Hector Freely, a very experienced fighter in Walkout FC cage. Once again, the 125-pound division. That takes us up to the main card right there, but that is our 4-fight undercard so far. I believe we're going to add possibly one more matchup that fell off. The opponent fell off. We'll probably be adding one more, but that is the 4-fight kind of undercard to the main card, which once again, Calvin Williams versus Theron Crouch, Zach Yates versus Billy Wilson, and Luis Felipe versus Marshall Kemp. Very good middle of the card there. Then we'll be moving on to our professional part of the night. We have CJ Randall versus Tyler Schmidt. I am very excited for that fight card. I am for that fight. This fight card on the professional side is just amazing. I'm very excited to see how a lot of these play out because there's a lot of top-ranked fighters in the Midwest division, in the Kansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, and Arkansas regions that will be facing off on this fight card. So very interested to see what happens here. CJ Randall, very good wrestling. He was the Walkout FC welterweight champion for a very long time. He spent the last couple of years training after he vacated the title, decided he wanted to go pro, but took 2 years to really train. He mostly didn't really train as an amateur very much. He really just kind of fought, worked. That was it. He said he wanted to take some time, really get his tools down, and really take his game to the next level, which I believe we're going to see. And he's going to need to do that because Tyler Schmidt is a very tough fighter. He fights out of Intrepid in Springfield. So we've got Kansas versus Missouri there. Springfield, Missouri, Tyler Schmidt coming off a win just a little over a month ago in Kansas City. I believe he was 8-5 or 9-5 as an amateur. Very experienced. Both of these guys have fought top-level competition. I think CJ Randall's wrestling is going to come into play. Tyler Schmidt has very good kickboxing, and that's going to come into play. It's going to be fun to see. I think that fight really stays on the feet because CJ Randall's a very well-rounded striker as well. That's going to be an exciting one for the fans because I think that one could possibly go 3 rounds as well. I don't know if somebody will finish anybody in that one because they're both tough guys, both experienced. Man, that's a good one for the fight fans. Speaking of a great one for the fight fans, it just keeps getting better. Tony Grant versus Ross Campbell. Man, we know Tony Grant. We saw him fight in probably one of the best fights in Walkout history versus Cal Tolbert for the Walkout FC welterweight championship. He turned around and immediately vacated that, decided he wanted to turn pro, and he's got a tough matchup out of the gate versus Ross Campbell. Ross Campbell, we've seen him fight in the Walkout FC cage. He got a submission victory over Caleb Collins the last time we were in Springfield last September. He's taken some time. He's trained. He's in the groove of things, and he's ready to go with that good grappling. However, Tony Grant, good grappling as well. Very good striking, as we saw against Cal Tolbert, ending in a Superman punch knockout. Will we get to see Grant go quite a few rounds, test out that professional time. It's a little bit different going from an amateur with those 3-minute rounds to going into pro with the 5-minute rounds. Ross Campbell's first professional fight, though, he finished submission in the first round, so he hasn't really got a lot of cage time as well as a professional. So it'll be interesting to see what these guys can utilize as far as their ground game, as far as their stand-up, as far as the experience that they've got. Once again, another really good fight. A pro fight we just added to the card not very long ago is Clayton Brown. He's fought who's anybody over the last few years in the Kansas and Missouri fight scene. He will be taking on a very tough Miles McDonald. He is a Bellator vet, 2-2 as a professional. And he is taking on the 1-1 Clayton Brown. So, I mean, both guys have experience. Both guys have fought tough guys as amateurs. That is a well-rounded fight. That's a fun fight for the fans. Miles McDonald's motor just doesn't stop. That, to me, is going to be exciting. Clayton Brown is more of a ground tactician. I think Miles McDonald, he loves those leg kicks on the feet. He likes to throw hands. So once again, it's another style matchup there that I really like. That's a super flyweight division. I think it's just a 130-pound catch weight. It says super. I think it meant super fight. I don't know. It is a super fight. So anyways, great fight. Once again, that's the third pro fight of the night. The good fights just keep coming. We definitely brought the excitement with this card. And man, I'm so excited to get to watch all these matchups. It's going to be a really fun night. We have tickets available. WalkoutFC.com. You can go there and get tickets right now. There's also tickets available from your favorite fighters. Most of these pros and the fighters who fought for us before have tickets in the Springfield area. Go to walkoutfc.com or find your fighter. Get those tickets right now. The good seats are going fast. University Plaza Hotel and Convention Center in Springfield, Missouri is a really nice big place, but we were just in Arkansas, sold about 1,200 tickets. And max that place out. That's about what this one seats, 1,200 to 1,400. We were just in Pittsburgh, Kansas at Kansas Crossing Casino for our last show, and we sold that one out as well. So get your tickets. Don't wait till the last minute. You don't want to have to stand in the back. These fights are too good to be standing in the back anyway. So definitely get those. Speaking of fun fights, we've got Caleb Collins versus Austin Klim in the lightweight. It's a lightweight feature fight. I believe that's the co-main event. I'm not 100% sure how we've got that one set up yet, if it's the main or the co-main. But once again, interesting fight. Caleb Collins, very heavy-handed. He's won his last couple pro fights by knockout in boxing and kickboxing. Interested to see what he's able to do versus a good grappler in Austin Klim, coming off a win versus Frank Byers at Walkout FC in Joplin in January. So Caleb Collins, Austin Klim, interesting matchup. Once again, it's kind of striker versus grappler. We've got a lot of that going on these cards. It's going to be interesting on this show to see kind of who's the better of the two, because striker versus grappler is a theme that's kind of coming back to me over and over again. Springfield Fight Night, Walkout FC 17. I think it more appropriately should be called striker versus grappler. I mean, really, who's got the takedown defense? Who can hit the takedowns? Can they hit submissions? Heavy hands, is that going to come into play? That's what I'm going to predict. Is a lot of heavy hands being thrown in this show. So, before we go to the next one, Walkout FC 18 Heat Wave will be July 20th, Joplin, Missouri, Joplin Memorial Hall. One of our favorite venues just because of how it's laid out. The seating is great. Every view in there is great. Tons of fun. Make sure you make it out to Walkout FC 17 and 18. Both cards are going to have amazing fights. The return of Corey Hines, the return of the man Jeff Law, Jody Lightout Lincecum. There is a lot of good top level fighters that are gonna be reappearing on this show. I think there's a few guys who want to turn around right after the Springfield fight night and actually hop on this Joplin card, because I know some of these fighters are really trying to get their fights in. So make sure you get tickets. Both are on sale. walkoutfc.com. Do not wait. The good tickets always go really fast. We usually have GA available at the door for these for the Joplin show, because that venue is huge. I think it seats 2,500 or something like that. So we'll have GA, but if you want to sit close, if you want to be in the middle of the action and where all the loud enthusiastic cheering is going on, you want to be down front. You want to be close. Let's go on to I believe I'm not 100% sure if we put this fight as a co-main or main, vice versa with Clem and Caleb Collins. But Ashlyn Kleinbeck, 0-1, Invicta vet, takes on Josie Storts in a flyweight female mixed martial arts matchup. It's going to be awesome. I know that both are predicting to finish this fight. They say it's not going to go to the judges, and I think they both said it's not going to go out of the first round, because they're looking to get it in, get going, put that work in. What a great fight. This is our first female professional mixed martial arts fight in the Walkout FC cage. I'm very excited to see how these ladies perform under pressure. Ashlyn Kleinbeck's looking to get back in the win column after a loss. Josie Storts also coming off a loss. Walkout FC in January in Joplin, taking on the very tough Claire. I guess her last name is now Johnson. Congratulations, she got married. The Walkout FC flyweight female champion as an amateur. Josie Storts decided to turn around and go pro. It's hard to find a lot of good matchups or a lot of fights fall out for these ladies in the amateur division because the ladies divisions right now are kind of thin. So ladies, always looking to put great female mixed martial arts fights on the card. You can always hop on. We always love having the ladies in to perform. The crowd loves it. They seem to just really go in there and fight. We've never had a bad female fight in the cage, and that's for sure. And this one will definitely not disappoint. I'm excited to see how this one finishes. We know that Josie's a tough fighter. She's never been finished in all of her amateur career. Ashlyn, she's tough as well. She comes from a good camp, trains with Joe Wilk, a very experienced professional fighter in just about every promotion in the world. So she's got great training partners. I believe Josie right now is training in Colorado. Ashlyn Kleinbeck's training out of Wichita. I'm just excited to see what happens in that fight. It's going to be a really good one. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said before, get your tickets. Don't wait. Walkoutfc.com. We've got tickets available for June 15th, Springfield Fight Night. And then we've got tickets available also for Walkout FC 18 Heat Wave live in Joplin, Missouri. Both are going to be great. Get tickets for both. Support all these local fighters. Support us at Walkout FC. We continue to go to new places. We got shows scheduled throughout the rest of the year. Can't say where or when on some of those dates, but we are June 15th, Springfield Fight Night. July 20th, Heat Wave, Joplin, Missouri. Then September, we've got a show going on. We've got a show also scheduled for October and November. So you've got 5 more chances to see Walkout this year. We're working on the schedule for 2020 right now. We're going to keep bringing you all the top notch action that you expect. And as we continue to build these professional and these amateur fighters, they continue to keep going on to fight on very big shows. I know there's a lot of interest in quite a few fighters that are on Walkout FC 17 right now already. We've had a very big promotion. Scoop one up off the card. They were interested definitely in some of these matchups that are going on. Storts and Kleinbeck with Klim and Collins matchups with Grant and Campbell. Also, like I said earlier, Miles McDonald versus Clayton Brown. Those two guys have fought on almost every promotion, so they're looking at that as well. Then we've got C.J. Randall and Tyler Schmidt. Very top level professional fights going on. We know they're newer fighters, but these are the fighters that are going to show up on the big scene sooner rather than later. Like I said, I would be surprised if the winner of Storts Kleinbeck isn't fighting on Bellator in the next 2 or 3 months. Would really blow my mind if they weren't really fighting before 3 months in at least Bellator, as well as many of the other fighters on this card. Big things are happening in this region. We're going to continue to do that. Like I hinted before, we're going to hit 4 different states this year. Working on finalizing the venue and some things on our 4th state. We will be going back to Arkansas. We will be coming back to Kansas. So, we're going to hit the 4 states here in the second half of the year, give you all the exciting fights that you have come to expect from Walkout FC. We cannot wait to share those with you. We cannot wait to let you see all the great things that are coming up. But Walkout FC 17 goes down in just 10 days. Where's my graphic? There we go. We are just 10 days away. So do not hesitate to like, comment, share these videos. Do not hesitate to get your tickets to Walkout FC 17. Like I said, they're available for Walkout FC 18 as well, but we appreciate everybody that's watching. We appreciate everybody that's coming to the shows. We appreciate you all supporting these fighters. We're going to have a lot more good action for you all this year. But once again, this has been Walkout Live. Thinking about changing the name. If you watch all the way through and you tell me, comment if you like it. If I'm thinking about changing the name of the podcast, or actually starting a podcast and calling it Fight Week, covering a little bit more than just Walkout FC, some of the other local, regional, maybe some national stuff if we get Gregory and a couple of the other people in to do some talking about all the cool stuff that's going on in mixed martial arts, because there's a lot. Like I said, Walkout FC is doing a lot, so it's kind of hard because there's so much going on. We've already got matchups going on for July. And we were already working on matchups for September on a very big pro card that we're working on. So, fighters, get with us. Fans, walkoutfc.com. We'll see you at the shows. If you have any comments, suggestions, anything you want to see, any fighters you want to see, let us know in the comments. Once again, thanks for watching. This has been Walkout Live. I am Will the Thrill Levine. Next time I'll be back with a guest to talk a little bit about Walkout FC 17, and then we're going to be talking about Walkout FC 18 right around the corner. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the show.